What's up, YouTube? Dylan here with Dylan's Home Espresso Bar, and today we are in a different scene, a little different scenery here. We are in Dylan's home kitchen. So, at the matchup between the Breville DualBoiler and the Barista Express. So, I have done the Breville DualBoiler and the Barista Express. So, I have done this multiple times here. However, I am going to go over some key features to kind of, if you're in the market or you're looking to upgrade, is it worth the upgrade? I'm going to show you the features that I really enjoy on both machines, and I'm going to kind of give you my input on which machine that I prefer. Not necessarily, obviously one's way more expensive than the other. However, I'm just going to pretty much go through and just kind of show you guys basic functions and which one that I think that if you were beginning, which one I prefer for beginners. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So the first thing I want to look at is the steam on both of the machines. So with the DualBoiler, obviously you're going to get a faster reaction time and it's going to be immediate steam right away. So with the Barista Express, you're also going to have to wait for that pump to really kick in. And I'm going to go ahead and just show you because it's going to be a lot easier just for me to just show you guys. So if you guys take a look here, so my wife is behind the camera. She is going to be doing all of the video for me here. So let's see, I'm gonna help her out here. All right, so with the Breville DualBoiler, we're just gonna go ahead and turn on the steam. So we have full steam right away. So it's extremely dry and it's just really good. You're not gonna get a lot of water inside of your milk, so it's going to really help with that nice creamy texture of the milk. So we're going to look over right over here at the Barista Express and kind of do the exact same thing. So that was pretty much on demand, and here is the Barista Express.
Hi, Linda.
So as you can see, still no steam. Just waiting for that pump to kick on here.
Hi, Jason. Hi, George.
All right, so now you hear that. The pump's starting to kick in. You see all that water coming out now. Now we're at full steam. So obviously it does take about 10 to 15 seconds for that steam wand to actually start pumping that steam and that water out of that wand. So now let's talk about the steam wand. So when comparing both of the steam wands, is it necessary for at-home use to have a steam wand that is on demand as opposed to waiting for the steam wand to kick? No, I would say this is more of a convenience factor because you might only, if this is for at-home use, you might only be serving about 1 to 2 people or making about 1 maybe to 4 max cups per day. So in that case, do I believe that because of the steam starting up right away that the DualBoiler is better over the Barista Express? No. I would give that to the Barista Express because I am not in any hurry when waiting for that milk or that steam wand to kick in to froth my milk. Now we will look at different points now, and that is the steam quality between the two machines. So if you are a milk-based beverage drinker and that is and you make coffee your hobby, I would definitely recommend the DualBoiler over the Barista Express because you are going to get drier steam every single time with the Breville DualBoiler, and just overall it's going to be twice as fast. So you can steam within 30 seconds, you're done. And with the Barista Express, you're looking at about 1 minute and 15 seconds to fully froth your milk. So if time is not of the essence and it's not that important to maybe an extra 30, 35 seconds added on to the time that it takes you to make your coffee, then obviously the Barista Express wins again. We are going to look at the temperature. So with the Barista Express, you can control the temperature +2, +4, -2, -4. So otherwise, it stays stock. I believe stock is set at 200. Correct me if I'm wrong. I am not 100% sure. But so you don't have as much room to play with your PID with the temperature internally. as opposed to the dual boiler where you can go down to 195 and up to 205. And this is going to help you dial in those beans just a little bit more, because light to medium roast, you're going to want to go a lot hotter. And then with darker roast, more oily, you're going to want to go a little cooler. So around 200 degrees as opposed to 205 degrees. And that is in Fahrenheit.
Hi, Jamin.
So now we are going to look at a different feature here, and that is the drip tray. So as you can see, there is a noticeable size difference between the Barista Express and the Breville DualBoiler's drip tray. So the Breville DualBoiler's drip tray is twice as big. However, it is twice the amount of money. So is it really worth spending an extra $700-800 on the drip tray to get a bigger drip tray so you have less trips to dumping that into a sink? I would say no. I mean, it does get a little bit irritating at times to maybe pull about 3 to 4 shots and have to already be ready to empty out this drip tray. It's extremely easy. I mean, they both just pull straight out, and then, I mean, it's just right there. So not hard at all, but it's just convenient factor. If that is a big deal for you, then obviously I would go with the dual boiler. But is not a big deal to me, and I am totally fine with a smaller drip tray. All right, so now we are going to move straight into just the overall appearance. So what is missing from the dual boiler that is on the Barista Express? Well, you guys might have guessed it. It is the grinder right here. So this has the Barista Express has a built-in grinder, and as you see, the Breville DualBoiler does not. So what does that mean for budget? Well, as we noted before, these go for, the Barista Express goes right now on Amazon for $699. The Breville DualBoiler goes for about $1,499, so about $1,500 for this. Well, with the Barista Express, now you aren't going to get the best quality as possible grinder out of the Barista Express. However, as a beginner and as just starting out, making coffee and making coffee your hobby, and just wanting to get a nice little latte, or also to make Americano, or just get a good quality espresso beverage, this is going to be the winner, hands down. It is half the price, but you also have to look at it as this does not have a grinder. So you have the rule of thumb is the grinder is almost as, if not as important as the machine. So this is a niche zero grinder. After tax, about $800. So this would be a perfect pair for the dual boiler. So now you're looking at about $2,200 to $2,300 for this machine right here, as opposed to $700, like I mentioned, for the Barista Express. So if you really do not like the built-in grinders function on any kind of home espresso machine, then, and your budget calls for it, I would definitely go with the Breville DualBoiler. However, I have owned the Barista Express now for almost a year, and I absolutely love the Barista Express. So now we are going to go into a big, not as big as now as it was before when I first purchased the machine. However, we are going to look at the portafilters. So as you can see, they're a little wet. But the Breville DualBoiler has the commercial standard 58 millimeters as opposed to the Barista Express, which is sitting at 54 millimeters. Now, what does that mean? Well, when I first purchased the machine, it was a big deal because there were not a lot of coffee tools and accessories. So it was extremely hard to find dosing funnels. It was hard to find the dosing cups. It was hard to find bottomless portafilters for the actual machine itself. Now it is a lot easier to find distribution tools because people are making them all around. So is that a huge deal? No. Now, if you are thinking of going into a commercial setting, you want to get more out of your beans and everything, and you want to get that bigger portafilter, you are definitely going to want to stay away from the Barista Express because it is a 54 millimeter portafilter, and I think you can just play around a little bit more with the dual boiler. So I prefer the 58 millimeters. I just think that because of the bigger basket, it just allows for a little bit more changing of the bean to really dial it in and get the best taste possible. So now we are going to look at the functions of the two machines that are similar. So here you see on both machines there is a pressure gauge. Now some people do not like the pressure gauges. They think that they are a little wonky, I guess you can say. But I think that they are a great, just to kind of point out where you're at with your shot. So if you obviously see that this thing is only staying down here and the dial's not coming up, you know that you are way too coarse and you need to go finer. So you can also tell by how the flow is coming out. So if it's coming out too slow, you obviously need to go coarser. If it's coming out too fast, you need to go finer. So that's also another indication, but the dial pressure gauge definitely helps. So that is a plus for both of the machines. Now, another aspect we are going to look at both of the machines is the top, and that is the heating element tray up top. So with the Barista Express, these machines have both been on for about 45 minutes. So I can hold my hand on the Barista Express's cup warmer. I mean, forever. I could do this all day. And so it gets warm, but it does not get hot. And when you think of a cup warmer, this is going to save water and just make your workflow a lot faster because you're not going to have to put a cup down there, get that hot water in the cup and dump it out. It's already going to be warm. With the Barista Express, it is a cup warmer. It does not really make your cups hot. So if that is a big issue, however, I don't feel like that is a big issue because I don't mind pulling a blind shot into a cup just to get that cup warm. Now with the Breville DualBoiler, it's a different story. If I put my hand on here, I can't hold my hand on here for very long. I mean, it gets pretty hot. So that is a big plus for the Breville DualBoiler. So like even that, my hand's pretty hot right now. So that is a plus for the DualBoiler. So if that is important to you and that feature is gonna sell you on a $2,300 setup, then definitely go ahead and get the DualBoiler. Another thing that is similar in both machines is the fact that they both have a magnetic tamp attached to the machine. So Breville did an absolutely fantastic job when designing the machines, and they really thought about everything. So these machines last forever as long as you take care of them and do the proper maintenance weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and so on. So like I said, the only difference is they're the same tamper except one's 58 and one's 54 millimeters. So like I said earlier, if that's important to you, then you obviously want to pick the machine based on the size of the portafilter. So I want to look at one more function of both of the machines, and that is shot quality. So today I am going to be pulling a shot on both using the niche. Obviously, people are going to say, well, you're using the niche with the DualBoiler. That's obviously going to make a better shot than the Barista Express. And you may be right because the pressure is a lot more consistent with the DualBoiler as opposed to the Barista Express. However, I am just going to show you that if you wanted to get the Barista Express and buy a niche grinder, then you're looking at about a $1,400 setup, and you're still saving yourself a pretty good lump of change. So you're still saving yourself about $700. So that's why I am going to use the niche for both of the machines. So you can see the shot quality, and I'm also going to be frothing some milk because my wife and I need a little bit more caffeine in our lives. Not really, but we're going to have some more anyways.
That's right.
So we are going to be using, so that is the comparison there. So I hope that those two answer your questions. Also, one other thing that I would like to mention that I did forget, and I think that it is a really neat feature with the Breville DualBoiler, is the fact that where are these machines located? They are on my counter. Okay. One big hassle of the Barista Express is that the water reservoir is on the back side of the machine. Is that a big deal? To me, so because my counters are pretty low, which are standard, I have to move this whole unit out in order to get the water reservoir out. I mean, I can take it out by just picking it up, but it's a really tight space back there. I would prefer to not do that. And then that's also keep moving the machine, and I just don't think that over time that it's going to be good for the internal components. It may not be bad, but I always think about everything when looking into the price that I spend on these machines. So the cool feature of the Breville DualBoiler is the fact that they have a water reservoir in the back as well, just like the Breville Barista Express. But they also made this cool feature that if you are at home and you don't want to be moving the machine all the time, there it is a water reservoir right here. So you can just dump your water straight through here, and there's a water indication down here. And it's extremely easy and nice visual. There's a nice LED screen that really lights that water reservoir up, so you know when you need to fill that water tank. Now, with the Barista Express, that is another con. Obviously, nothing here. So in order to see, sometimes if it's dark, I have to really come over here just to check to see if the water reservoir is good from the night before when I pulled a shot. So that is a big convenience factor with the Breville DualBoiler. So those are the two main comparisons, or those are the main comparisons of the two machines. I hope that after you see this video, that this really helps you in the decision of purchasing the machine. Now, I know there's a lot more that goes into Espresso, and I'm sure that you're going to do a lot more research before you decide to purchase one of the machines. Or if you have the Barista Express, I'm sure it's going to take a little bit more kind of talking yourself into buying a machine that is double the amount, and also looking into buying and upgrading your grinder. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and dial in these beans. So I'm using the Uganda Bugisu. I'm totally butchering this name, I am sorry. But we are going to be using this. This has been my favorite beans from Good Brothers. It is raisin, fig, and cocoa tasting notes. It was roasted on February 9th of 2021. So we are going to go ahead and open these up. I do not know what the correct number on the dial is going to be to dial in these beans, but we are going to go through this together. So if this video is all you wanted was to compare the two major components of the two machines, obviously there is more functions on the LCD screen. However, I have made a video, so make sure to go check that out. And I hope that that helps you as well. There's a lot more functions that you can control with this machine as opposed to this, but I just wanted to kind of compare the most obvious functions on the two machines. So now we are going to go ahead and pull a shot on both of them, and we are also going to froth the milk so you guys can see the milk texture and also how fast or how slow each machine goes. And we're going to give you a taste test, and we are going to open it up to questions. Want to talk, and yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I am using the niche grinder as mentioned before. I'm going to go ahead and get my other dosing cup. We are going to go ahead and use the Breville DualBoiler first. So we are going to dose out 17 grams. Let's go 19 grams. So we're going to go 19 grams with the Breville DualBoiler here. So unfortunately, the Breville DualBoiler is going to have more grinds of coffee in there as opposed to the Barista Express, because I only put about 17 grams inside of here, but 17 grams is not going to be enough for in here. I like to have at least 18. So that's going to be the only difference in comparison. However, we're just going to go ahead and roll with it. So we have 19 grams. All right, and it wouldn't be a Dylan's Home Espresso Bar video without a sputum pump.
Oh,
so we are going to be using this to get the rest of the grinds out of the grinder.
I think you just like saying that word.
I do like saying it. I'm sorry. And we have 19.2, so we added 0.2 grams from when we started. So that's always a positive. All right, so now I just kind of like to shake up the cup just to kind of get the grinds a little declumped.
Shaking it up. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. All right.
You clean that portafilter.
I feel like I'm out of my element being in my kitchen as opposed to my coffee area, but in order to compare these two machines, I had to kind of switch it up a little bit. The distribution tool I bought off Amazon. So all these tools will be in the links below. So once I finish the video, I will go ahead and put those links in the description for you.
Tamping it.
All right. So it's going to go ahead and flush that machine.
Linda said as long as it's never been used, it's not gross. Sputum thing.
Yeah. Never been used. I mean, I think, unless they sent it to me used, that'd be kind of gross. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get going with our shot here. So to keep it fair, we are going to wait to froth our milk because obviously we can't froth and pull a shot at the same time with the Barista Express. So here we go. I'm going to get you guys, try to get you guys a better view here. All right. And here we go. Not have these dialed in, but we are going to see where we need to be.
That looks pretty good to me. No?
So I messed up because I moved this. As you see, I had the water on. I had the water spout on, so definitely messed up that shot, unfortunately. So we are going to go ahead and act like that didn't happen since I can't cut that out. And we are going to go ahead and try that again because that looked like a really good shot.
Yeah.
But this is live. I like all of you guys to see my flaws. Not everyone is perfect. No one is perfect, actually. So we're going to go ahead and, unfortunately, get rid of that beautiful shot of espresso. RIP to the shot of espresso that just left us. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and rinse that out. I think it's important to make sure to rinse that out every time. And we are going to try that yet again and not make the same mistake.
That's right.
All right. So I'm going to go a little bit faster here just because of time. I don't want to keep you guys extremely long here. So we're going to dose out again 19 grams.
I'm throwing beans.
All right, so we got 19 grams. We're going to go ahead and throw that in there. It just gives you guys more looks of the niche and the Akaya. in reality, I just wanted to use this more times, so that's why I did it. 18.9. All right, we're gonna use it.
Bam.
All right, so go ahead and distribute and tamp. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and flush out your machine. We are gonna try this yet again. And let's go. All right, so good looking stream there. Good pressure. We're sitting right at 9 bar pressure, which is perfect. A little bit faster now. All right, so we got 40 grams in 23 seconds. So 41 grams, 23 seconds. If I was dialing this in a little bit more, I would go probably right now we are on setting 7. I would probably go to 5 on the niche if I were going to pull that one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it there. I think this is going to be a good shot, especially for a milk-based beverage. So I'll show you guys the shot quality here. So nice shot, nice looking shot here. And we are going to go ahead and start frothing some milk. So today I'm going to be using A2.
Ooh. You just moved the carpet.
Oh gosh. All right, I'm going to be using A2 milk. Just going to go ahead and fill that to the bottom of the spout. And we're going to go ahead and start frothing. So with the dual boiler, obviously it's a little bit faster than the Barista Express. So about 10 seconds of adding air. And then about 10 to 15 seconds of incorporating all of that microfoam. And you're pretty much just gonna go get that nice vortex. And you're gonna go ahead and keep that going until it gets too hot to touch, which will be at about 150 degrees. So pretty quick there. Make sure you purge out that machine, that steam wand. You want to get all that excess water and milk outside of that. All right, so I like to do that right away. Kind of wipe it one more time. And we are going to pour some latte art. So as you can see, I'll have my wife kind of zoom in on that. So it's really nice texture. It looks like wet paint. It might be a little bit too thick, but we are going to work with it. I'm gonna go ahead and tap that cup, break that crema, give it a nice tap, and spill some milk, but that's okay. Here we go. All right. So we'll go ahead and show you the latte art there. So really good milk foam, good texture, and a pretty quick and pretty good time. So if latte art is something that you are gonna want to really try to dial in and practice, definitely recommend spending a little bit more money with the Breville DualBoiler. It's a little bit easier to get the same result as consistent as possible every time. So really good microfoam. Like takes about 30 seconds. I didn't really time it out, but I'm sure that you guys did. But yeah, so this is the first one. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try for you guys. So really good and creamy. I do think that it could be a little bit less foamy. So I'm kind of more of a flat white as opposed to a cappuccino guy. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and pull a shot with the Barista Express and froth some milk so that you guys get a real-time comparison of the two machines. So don't mind me while I am rinsing this out.
Thank you, Dane. Thank you, George. Dane said, looks great, Dylan. George said, Dylan's home espresso is a great teacher.
Thank you. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this up. So if you guys are watching and you guys don't enjoy watching me clean up and you guys are watching this recorded, definitely you can skip past this part. I'm sorry, it's just part of the process and part of my OCD to keep everything extremely clean. So again, I like to just let water run through that because it's going to keep your machine extremely clean. We are going to go into the Barista Express. I'm going to go ahead and pour, or just do a blind shot here just to really heat up that portafilter. So that is another big plus that I forgot to mention with the DualBoiler is the group head makes that portafilter hot. I mean, if you touch that thing for any more than 1 second, I mean, your hand's it's hurting pretty good. With the Barista Express, it gets warm, but unless you pull a couple blind shots like I just did, it doesn't get extremely hot. So definitely it helps with more consistency and less channeling when your portafilter can heat up to that much more of an extent. So another good thing about the DualBoiler here. All right, so now we are going to...
Linda said, yes, your nephew told us it's hot.
Yeah, that is a, yeah, so I did a video with my nephew and I had him try to tamp. So if you haven't already, make sure to go check that out. I had him touch it to tamp, not even thinking about it being hot. And yeah, so poor guy. He was good though, he had good spirits.
George said, I'm with you. I drive myself crazy trying to keep my counter clean. To the point my coffee and breakfast gets cold. To the point, gotcha.
All right, so like I said, we are only going to be using 17 grams here, so I'm sorry about the off comparison. However, I'm not really trying to show you the difference between the shot quality because obviously the DualBoiler is going to be better with the consistent flow and shot quality. However, I do want to show you just in action, side by side, after we went ahead and looked at kind of little of the outer appearance and the specs with the two machines. So here we go. We are going to dose out 17 grams. So I am going to be using a dosing cup, just like the niche. However, we cannot use the niche. So that's a good point to point out. So if you have the Barista Express, and let's say you want to upgrade to the niche grinder and not use the built-in grinder, you cannot use the built-in, or you cannot use the dosing cup that comes with the niche directly on your portafilter. Now, you could, however, get your portafilter a dosing cup in. So that is an option. But if you want to dose and transfer straight into dosing cup to portafilter, Crema makes a great product. It is a 54 millimeter dosing cup and it is awesome. It is also has a little notch right here, so it's also used to activate the grinder as well. So really nice tool to look into. This is going to be in the description below once I finish the video, and it also fits pretty well inside of the niches tray too, so extra plus. So now I can tell you one thing I did overlook, and this is actually a good thing that I did overlook this issue, is the fact that we use 19 grams with the dual boiler. With the 19 grams, it was a little bit fast, so that means we still needed to go a little bit finer. Well, now we're going to 17 grams. So right off the bat, I should have changed this at least 2 steps finer, because side of the portafilter, and also you saw how fast this one came out. It was okay, but you could definitely make it a better shot. So this is going to come out a lot faster than that one, and that is the main reason. So if everything goes well, I mean, unless I am blessed and it comes out really good, then just ignore everything I just said. But definitely something to consider when you are changing the grind amount. So gonna stay consistent. So 16.9 grams. So we dosed out 19 on the last one for the dual boiler, and we got 18.9. We dosed out 17 for the with the niche with the Barista Express, and we got 16.9. So we were 0.1 off for both. So in that comparison, we're doing pretty good. Shake the cup like I did in the other. Keep it fair. And then we have a nice and hot portafilter here.
Nice and hot.
Nice and hot.
Hot, hot.
All right. So now we are going to go ahead and distribute. So I am using the all-in-one tool by Crema, and this is a distribution and a tamping tool as well. So definitely recommend looking into this. However, I do not like to use the tamping side on this all-in-one tool. I would prefer the just kind of being able to control the tamp myself with a separate tamper. So this is the Lux House. I will put this also in the description below as well. I believe this is $30 on Amazon. If you have a Barista Express at a 54 millimeter, definitely recommend this tamper. It is nice, solid, sturdy, and absolutely amazing quality for what you get for the price. So definitely go check that out. So we are going to go ahead and tamp. Give it that nice little polish. Make sure no coffee grounds are on the actual portafilter. Go ahead and flush the machine. We're going to change the scale. And we are going to go ahead and pull our if the scale would tear. It's being difficult right now. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring you over here so you guys can get a closer view of the shot. Like I said, this should come out faster because I failed to take into consideration of the lower grind amount. Or it's going to choke it, and we're going to have to go coarser. Very, very strange.
Thanks for tuning in, Dane. Have a great night.
All right, so there we go. Now it's starting to go. It's a little late to start, but we're catching up here. So definitely too fine. So That's crazy.
Ooh, fine.
So yeah, we are definitely too fine here, but we are going to make. So we got 36 grams, 37 grams in 39 seconds. So obviously we are gonna have to go coarser actually. So I was wrong. Normally, if you are changing the dose, you're gonna have to go a little bit coarser with the grind, so, or a little finer, I should say.
Justin asked if we unboxed yet.
So I will get to that at the end of the video. So stay tuned, and we are just gonna go ahead and pull this shot. I recommend that if you are trying to dial in the machine, I would definitely put that shot coarser because, like I said, we got 39 grams in 32 seconds, I believe I said. So you're definitely going to want to hit that 22 to 28 target range with that 1-to-2 ratio or whichever ratio that you prefer. So now I'm going to go ahead and froth some milk here. So I'm going to go ahead and start that pump because it takes a little bit longer, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Again, we're using A2 milk. So if you guys are trying to learn how to dial in your machine, I have other videos as well showing how to dial it in. I'm just going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter. So it takes a little bit longer to get the same results. However, we got nothing but time. So now we're done adding the air, and we are now just getting that nice vortex of the milk. So like I said, it takes about double the time than the dual boiler. However, you can still achieve the same results. So if you are budget or trying to be more budget friendly, definitely go with the Barista Express. You cannot go wrong. All right, so just finished up. We're gonna go ahead and do the same as the dual boiler. So you should do this every time. Purge that steam wand. Keep everything nice and clean. And we are gonna go ahead and quality. So still extremely good milk quality with the Barista Express. Like I said, the dual boiler is a little bit drier with the steam quality. So that is definitely going to help you with your latte art. So I like to give it a couple taps. And if you are getting into latte art, you're going to want to make sure you break that crema. Tap that cup to really make that settle and kind of be good. So my wife is going to film this latte art, so if you want to come on this side.
Okie dokie.
So like I said, I always like to pour out the first stream because that's going to be your foamiest. So I messed it up there at the end, but as you can see, milk quality is still really good with the Barista Express. I pulled up a little bit more than I should have, and that's what really made the design not as crisp. However, I'm going to go ahead and give it a try for you guys at home and kind of just give a comparison between the dual boiler and the Breville Barista Express. So if I'm going to be extremely honest, I made this shot taste better. So even though the shot was definitely way too slow and definitely choked it out a little bit, so it's a little bit more bitter, but when adding milk, it really covers that up. I actually like the milk texture that I made with this one because it's not as foamy. So obviously I can get that same result with that. It just goes a lot faster. So sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to control. However, both are extremely good. Like I said, I'm just going to wrap this video up before questions. $700, $1,500, $800 grinder. Together, $2,200, $2,300, $700 full package. So definitely, after watching this video, I hope I answered your question. If you are looking into getting an espresso machine, or you currently have an espresso machine like the Barista Express or another comparable model, and you're looking to upgrade. So definitely, if you have this and you're looking to a little bit more, definitely go and look into the Breville DualBoiler. It is absolutely insane. That is extremely cheap. Yes, I know I said cheap. For a dual boiler, most good dual boilers start from about $2,800 to about $7,000. So what you get out of your money with $1,500 with Breville, absolutely amazing, and I would definitely recommend it. So I'm going to open it up to questions. My wife says there's a couple questions in the comments, so we're going to go ahead and get to those comments. And if this is all you wanted to watch of the video and you don't care to listen to all the comments and me answering them, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys could hit that like and subscribe button down below. We're definitely going to try to hit 1,000 subscribers this year, and I do have a special giveaway of $150 value that I am going to cover next week since we hit 500 subscribers. So I am extremely thankful and extremely blessed, and I just appreciate each and every one of you guys. I never would have thought that I would have hit 500 subscribers this fast. So again, thank you without the support and the love from all of you guys at home. So if you guys enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, as that like will help me to get more noticed around the world so that I can connect with more people like I am with you. So again, Dylan with Dylan's Home Espresso Bar, and I thank you guys so much for watching. All right, so now we're going to go into answering some of the questions. So as I'm just going to be kind of cleaning up as my wife is asking me the questions here.
All right. So some of them are already answered by other people, but I'll go ahead and say them still, and then you can say what your take is on them.
Okay.
Jamin said, at what point in terms of milk-based drinks per day would you suggest a dual boiler machine?
That is a good question. So with the Barista Express, I have noticed that, so the most shots I've ever pulled back to back to back, I believe this is going to answer your question, is about 6 shots. And after about the third shot and after about the second time frothing the milk, I noticed a decrease in the pressure of the fourth shot that you pull for somebody and froth the milk. I'm looking at about a minute and about 50 seconds to really froth that milk to get that same texture as you did the first 2. So I would say if you have a family of more than 4 or 5 and you're looking to make coffee every single day for your family, I would definitely recommend upgrading to the dual boiler. However, if it's not all at the same time, the Breville Barista Express will work just fine.
Linda said, I'm still learning difference between a heat exchange machine and dual boiler.
Okay, so if I say this right, especially if someone has the right answer and I say this wrong, please correct me in the comments below. So with a heat exchanger, it is pretty much the machine has a heating element that has to transfer the heat from the group head to pull your shot to also transfer it to the steam wand to froth your milk. So as you saw, this is a heat exchanger. So what happens is it's got to bring heat to the group head in order to pull your shot, and then once it's done, steam wand on, you notice that 10 to 15 second delay, and that's because that heat has to now exchange over to the steam wand so that you can steam your milk. As opposed to a dual boiler, it's exactly what it says. So there's two boilers. So with the two boilers, there's a boiler to heat the group head to pull your shot, and a boiler to heat your steam wand to froth your milk. So that's why with a dual boiler, you can pull a shot and froth your milk at the exact same time, because the two different heating elements are two completely different boilers and compartments.
Andy said, isn't the BE Barista Express thermo block?
So yes, so I do believe that the Barista Express is a thermal block. So I'm not quite sure what the difference between a heat exchanger and a thermal block is. So I will definitely look that up, or if you guys have that in the comments, please let us know down below. But yeah, that's a great question.
Justin said, have you been looking at trailers or carts for your cafe?
So I have. Looking at were pretty pricey, and with all of the tools and accessories that my wife has been allowing me to buy for you guys, I am trying to get more content out right now on YouTube, and then lead that into my coffee trailer, and then start vlogging my coffee trailer experiences, and also getting out lives and edited videos for you guys as well. So with COVID, it's a little bit more difficult, and I need to kind of build up a little bit more of a budget after spending what I have on my machines. So
Andy said, is it slower because the BE has a deeper puck?
So
I don't know what that was in regards to, because
with the Breville Barista Express, the Portafilter, let me go ahead and clean this out so I can really show you. So a cool hack here, since you guys are here, the puck got stuck up in here. Instead of trying to pick that out with your finger, where that, just hit the single cup button like that, and it'll drop that puck right for you. Yeah, bonus hack. Bonus trick right there.
Oh, jeez.
So I will answer your question here in a second as soon as I get this nice and cleaned off.
Oh, cool. We got more questions coming in. Yes, it would be cool to do vlogs on the coffee cart.
All right, so her question, and I don't know if I have the answer for you, unfortunately, but again, I will look this up and try to answer it when I find out the answer. So what she asked was, with the Breville Barista Express,
the flow of the shot is what he was talking about, by the way.
So with the Breville Barista Express, she was talking about it being deeper. So this is a 54 millimeter portafilter, like we talked about in the beginning of the video. However, with the 54 millimeter, it's a lot deeper than the 58 millimeter from the dual boiler, which is a lot shallower but bigger in circumference. So I will go ahead and show you that. So if you guys can see, the Barista Express is a lot deeper with the basket, and with a 58 millimeter, it's a lot shallower. I would say that what was the main question?
Hold on. Is it slower because the BE has a deeper puck? Like, is the flow of the shot slower?
So, no. So the flow of the shot is all pretty much based on the grind size. So the coarser your grinds are, the faster the flow is going to be. Grinds are, the slower your shot is going to be. So the flow rate is all depending on the grind size of your beans.
So Musey said, I have the Breville Grinder Pro. Is it worth upgrading to niche 0?
Absolutely. I have the Breville Smart Grinder Pro as well in my coffee area. I definitely recommend that if you have the Breville Barista Express, so I guess that's where it gets tricky. So I purchased the Breville Barista Express and wanted more functionality out of the grinder, so I bought the Breville Smart Grinder Pro. Is it worth upgrading if you don't have the budget to buy a niche? Yes. In my opinion, the Breville Smart Grinder is worth upgrading from the built-in grinder, and that is because you are getting extra room kind of to really dial in your shot a little bit more. So you get a little bit more settings with the Breville Smart Grinder Pro. You also get that nice digital display, and it's just a lot easier to use in my opinion. Now, when you compare the Smart Grinder Pro and the niche, totally different ball games here. So when you grind any kind of grinds out of the Smart Grinder Pro, you're going to notice a lot more. There's hardly any clumps, and it's really going to bring out that nice fragrance and aroma to the bean, and it's really going to allow you to get those extra bit of tasting notes from the actual beans itself with the niche, because the niche is a 63 or 64 millimeter conical burr, and it's just a lot better of a grinder. So the niche has the Mazer burrs inside of the niche, which is commercial grade, and they are absolutely fantastic. So if you can and your budget allows for it, definitely upgrade to the niche.
Linda asked, does Crema fit in Smart Grinder Pro?
Yes. So now the dosing cup does not hit that button. Unfortunately, the button that you have to click. However, it's extremely easy to click that button with your thumb, and on the digital display, if you own it, which I know, Linda, you do own the Breville Smart Grinder Pro, you have that button up there to where you can just grind right away. So unfortunately, no, the cup fits in there really well, but it does not fit in there to where it hits that button. So if that is a deal breaker, then no, it does not.
George says, are you in Britain truck or just coffee bar?
So that gets tricky too. So when you serve food, unless it's already prepackaged, and I forget all the specifications, starting out, we are going to just strictly be an espresso bar cart, if you want to say. So we're only going to be serving coffee-based beverages. Now, later on down the road, we will eventually maybe team up with a certain company, or we may start and make our own pastries and donuts and stuff like that. But we will eventually add food to the cart.
Next question. Justin said, did you struggle bringing those machines to the kitchen? A little bit.
So it wasn't necessarily struggling bringing the machines into the kitchen. So actually, the funny thing is the machine was over there. However, we had to kind of do some moving around. Now we have no place for our toaster anymore, our fruit and banana or whatever holder. So definitely
good bicep workout, Andy said.
Yeah, so the machine, this is quite heavier than the Barista Express. So that's another good point. If you have a hard time lifting more than about 20 pounds, do not be heavy. And I didn't think, which is weird, before I brought the machine in here, I just thought I'd keep all the stuff on top of the machine, make it a little harder for myself. So it was kind of like trying to balance it, like a good balancing act. So definitely take everything off before you move it. So, and maybe empty the water too.
Luckily, nothing was dropped.
Nothing was dropped in the action of Dylan bringing it to the kitchen.
He just made me nervous, that's all. Okay, next question. Sorry. Justin said, what brewers do you use if you want a good old cup of joe?
So I use Good Brothers coffee, wherever I put the coffee. They are local roasters out of Holland, Michigan. And what micro roasters are, so you go on their website, they make it extremely easy for you to pick the kind of coffee you want. They tell you the tasting notes right on their website. It's extremely easy to do. Each bag costs about ranging $19 to $21, $22. And if you use code Dylan for your first purchase, you'll save 20% at checkout. So it'll bring you to about $17 per bag. So if you think about it, some people are paying for really good quality beans. And if you go to the local grocery store here, you're paying about $14 to $15 for a bag of Starbucks beans. So if you think about it like that, 100% you're going to get the best value out of your coffee beans. So I definitely recommend, if you already are paying good money for your espresso machines, definitely buy good beans because the quality is everything. Especially, that's the main reason why you bought an espresso machine, because you want to drink good coffee. So like I said, yeah, I use Good Brothers coffee and I have enjoyed using them thus far.
Jason said, which do you prefer, the Niche or Atom 75? Good question.
Okay, so this could be a more difficult question.
Multi-question. Or multi.
So here we go. If you want an at-home grinder and you want the best bang for your buck, the Niche. 100% hands down the Niche, and here's why. With the Atom 75, you have to load that bean hopper up. So the issue with that is, number one, stale beans. Number two, every time you make purge the machine, purge some beans out, so that way you're not having any old retained, because that retains about I think it's 1.8 to about 2.5 grams every time. So you have to at least purge out 3 grams or 4 grams before every time you make that micro adjustment. And starting out, you're going to go through a ton of beans. And beans change by the hour, beans change by moisture, they change by day. So you could have it perfectly dialed in one day, come in the next day, want the same result, and you're not going to get it. And as you saw with the Atom 75, it grinds 20 grams in 3 seconds. So you think about it, if you have to purge beans, if you hit the button and hit it really quick, that's about a second. You already lost about 7 grams. That's about half of a shot of coffee that you would dose into your cup. So the Niche is extremely easy. It's almost a zero retention grinder, and when you make those micro adjustments, there is no more beans in the hopper, so you waste less coffee. You get just as good as quality as the Atom 75. So at home use, the Niche. If you're doing a commercial setting, 100% the Atom 75, because single dosing would take forever to do, and it would take forever to serve a line of about 20 to 30 people. So like I said, with the Niche, it is averaging about 1 second per gram when you grind. So that is a big deal, because if you think you have a line of 20 people, you have to dose out 20 grams per shot. That's at least 20 seconds, and you haven't even pulled your shot or frothed your milk at that point. As opposed to the Atom 75, 3 seconds, you're already done. It's already grinded in. By the time you pull your shot, froth your milk, you could have that whole cup of coffee done for that one customer as the time it would take for the Niche to dose in that grind. So definitely the Niche for at home, Atom 75.
We got another question. Justin said, does that coffee machine on the left get any use?
No, it does
anymore.
not. So when we first bought the house and I was not into making espresso from home, we use that every day. I work overnights and I would make that all the time, and we're like, man, this coffee's so good. We got it for a wedding gift. It was absolutely amazing. It still works absolutely good. So if you would like just some old-fashioned coffee and you don't want an espresso beverage or Americano made from espresso, definitely recommend the Ninja. However, to answer your question, no, it's been sitting there for a good year. So I do still clean it because I like to have everything clean, but no, we do not use that right now.
Andy said, I hear the fur babies.
Yes, they, you'll hear the so when we do a video, we try to keep them away from camera, because with the audio, all you'll hear is their nails clicking up against the floor, which
Yes.
could be very annoying.
Or when they play with each other, they start like
growling and barking at each other.
All right, so I think that's all the questions.
All right. Are still here. I really appreciate it. How many people do we have on?
14.
So I really appreciate all of you guys, and I know you guys have all been waiting for the story of the unboxing today. So, man, let me just go ahead and show you what I have for an unboxing. It's very sad, and I will tell you and explain the whole story in a second. So, in Dylan's home espresso bar, where the machines normally are, lies a toaster. Why is there a toaster? Well, I am so glad you asked. The issue was I have a couple things coming to Dylan's home espresso bar. The issue with everything is the fact that COVID, and most importantly, living in the Midwest, we had a ton of snow. We had about 8 inches fall within a very short time. Plow stopped working at 7 o'clock last night, and
there were a lot of accidents too.
And they just started back up around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock this morning, so they could not keep up with the roads. Unfortunately, I took a vacation day from work. Extremely excited to get my awesome addition to my espresso bar.
That's going right there, right? Or is it going on the piece of furniture?
The new addition?
Yeah.
It's going right up here. So it's going to be going up here. Maybe.
Maybe.
So we like I said, we were waiting on it. I ended up calling the company, and the issue is they did not notify me that they were not running trucks due to the fact of weather conditions. So I don't have the package today for you. However, tomorrow they said that they should be back to working the terminals of where my package is going, will be shipping out. So if they are up and running, they have my delivery on hot, which means I will be one of the first ones to get the package. I also have a couple things coming from Amazon that were delayed as well. She was pretty upset, not coffee related. We bought a pillow for her homework to kind of like keep her upright when she's on the bed and I'm sleeping and passed out on the bed. So that also was delayed. So she was pretty upset and sad. But you know, good things come to people who wait. And it just makes you want them even more, and it makes you that much more appreciative when you have to wait to get things in life. So
Justin said, so you got a toaster?
I got a toaster.
We had a toaster.
Let me go ahead and tell you the specifications of the toaster. So,
oh my gosh.
With the specification of this toaster, you can not only do 2 pieces of toast, but 4 pieces of toast with 2 levers. You can control, it's got a built-in PID because you can control the 1 through 7 on the function of the toaster. So you can actually control how burnt you want your toast. So if you're extra hungry, and you want more than just 2 plain pieces of bread, now you can add 4.
Hey, you should show them my socks because I've gotten comments on my different socks that I've worn. So these are the choice of the day.
Choice of the day, folks. Nice, good looking.
I have more socks where this comes from, so maybe I should just give a nice sock view.
All right, so she's gonna check the questions if there's unless she falls over the tripod, which is very likely. So yes, I am hoping to. Unfortunately, I do not have tomorrow night off. So if my package comes later tomorrow night, I will still be going on YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah.
However, I will not be doing the live unboxing. And then cue the sound. Aww. But this weekend, I have a lot of time, and I'm going to devote all that time to all of you guys because I am appreciative of all of you guys. And I want as much time as possible to be able to practice certain things with the certain things that I'm getting with certain things.
Hey, people like the toaster. Andy said it's so clean. And then Justin said pretty fancy, not gonna lie. Let's see, what else? Is it heat exchange toaster or dual?
Dual boiler. So one extension cord, but each one has different
Thank you, Ginger Lily.
each different side of the toaster. You can control the temperature. So she wants burnt toast and I want medium to light toast. We can control that.
George would like, because he's been trying to get his wife to get a new toaster for years.
I am going to put this toaster in the description for you, George.
So glad we could help.
One stainless steel toaster in the description going below. So I will definitely have that on there. People, if they are not following this hour and 8-minute long video, are going to be extremely confused why a coffee channel has a toaster. But I am going to do it for you because I am overall here for you guys, and that is the main reason why I'm doing this channel. So George, you're gonna get that toaster.
And let's see, what's the steam power like on that bad boy, as you said?
I don't know. I mean, it's showing pretty good. So if you look at it, it's showing the steam capabilities right there. So I think it's a 3-bar steam. So I would say that for a newbie going into a toaster, I'd say that's some pretty good steam pressure right there.
I do want to give some news that I want to share with you guys.
So my wife has been extremely hard at work and studying for school. And go ahead.
And I made it on the Dean's List.
So not only is she a barista in Dylan's Home Espresso Bar, DMB's Home Espresso Bar, she is also a studious student that is doing very good in school. So appreciate the hard work. I bought her some ice cream today to congratulate her because she really loves ice cream.
Yeah, I got lots of gelato.
We got some gelato. Second time ever having gelato. And it's pretty good. So definitely recommend some gelato ice cream too. I also put that in the description down below as well. Ooh. No, I'm not going to, but I will put the toaster in there for real for you, George, so that way you can convince your wife to get you a new toaster.
I'll see if there's any more questions.
All right, so if there is no more questions, we will be ending it here.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Again, thank you guys so much for the support. A lot of people have given some negative feedback on the videos being extra long. So that's why when I start my videos, I am going to get straight to the point and get that content out there.
And questions at the end.
And then questions at the end. So that way the people who are just wanting to see what my thumbnail is about or my main video is about, I will get that information to them in about probably about 12 to about 19 minutes. And then we will have the rest of the time to pretty much chit chat because I, unlike some different YouTubers, really want to connect with my subscribers, and I am all over the comments because I really would like to answer all of them because that is important to me.
Got a couple more questions.
Ooh, couple more.
Well, one's for me. Justin said, "What do you study, Barista Brittany?" I study special education, so I'm planning on most likely teaching kids with special needs in the elementary level. But I'm not opposed to the older level either. I'm just not sure. I want to wait till I maybe go and observe classrooms first and see what would be the best fit for me. And then the next question, Justin said, "Do you enjoy classic coffee flavors or adventurous ones?"
Ooh.
That's a good question.
I would say adventurous ones because if you want classic tasting ones, you're gonna get like house blend and that's how I take a classic blend. So I would just say like I know it's a bad example, but like Folgers, I think of that as classic, but I understand like just like an espresso blend could be considered like a classic blend. Oh, there goes my dogs. They're on a move. They're on a mission. But no, I like adventurous. I like to try different unique style tasting notes, and also I would not be opposed to trying coffee from around the world as well because I think that is going to definitely be good for our espresso bar, and I can't wait to really try to discover my palate so that way I can really dial in the shot to get those tasting notes on the bag. So yeah, that's about it. So
thank you guys for all your feedback.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I am going to end it here because I worked out before I came on here just so I wouldn't be as jittery with all the caffeine I had. You guys are welcome. So I am going to go eat because I am starving. But if you guys have any other questions that we did not see or did not answer, please go ahead and post them in the comments below. And I would definitely love to answer them for you as soon as you ask them or as soon as I can. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Dylan with Dylan's Home Espresso Bar with Barista Brittany. And I really appreciate all of you guys' support, love, and feedback.
Yes, thank you guys so much. It really means the world to us.
All right, so until next time, peace.
Peace.